Welcome to my channel. It's Lisa here, and this is Rendezvous with Lisa. How are you doing? I'm sure you guys have missed me because I've missed you too. Anyways, in today's video, I'll be telling you about the first half of this year. My goodness, 2020 has been, for lack of a better use of word, overwhelming. Very, very overwhelming. And today, I'd just like to share some of the major events that shook our world in this first half, because we're already now in the second half of the year, right? Happy new second half and happy new month. So I just want us to just do a little recap on some of the things that happened. In fact, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. But just let's get right into the video. All right, stay with me. Okay, so first up is the South Wales bushfire, New South Wales bushfires in Australia, and that happened in January, and that was really sad and touching because it's alleged that at least 1 billion animals died in that. That's really just touching and sad. Okay, so if you see me looking in a certain direction, I'm looking at a laptop. But this is what happened in January. There were even 100 more species that needed emergency evacuation and stuff like that. So, and then we have the I remember this, the Iranian general that was killed. His name is Suleiman, Qasim Suleiman, something like that. Iranian general that was killed by US drones. So this was crazy because they retaliated. That's the Iranians did a counter-attack. They retaliated. They sent dozens of drones to a what do you call it, an Air Force military base in Iraq, where they knew that Americans were being housed, and it hit them hard. Although there were no deaths, there was actually claims that hundreds of troops were battling with mental, what do you call it, something like that, they were hit really hard. So it was that really sparked up talks about a World War III, because it was really serious. President Donald Trump ordered this, and then there was a counterattack, and then Iran. Anyways, next up was Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They stepped down from their royal duties in the Buckingham Palace, and that was major news because they are royalty, and then they decided not to do royal stuff like that anymore. Amazing. And then what else? There was the Ukrainian plane. See, this Iran, people should be afraid of them, because this Ukrainian plane, it was an international airline that was transporting people there, and then it crashed. But later on, we got to find out that it was actually shot down. The Iranians thought that it was another attack from the US, and they decided to, just be, what's the word? Be on the defense. So they were trying to, they said it was self-defense or something like that, and then they shut down the plane, and everyone died. There were 176 people on that plane, and it's really sad, but they died. See, this 2020 is just amazing. Then of course the WHO learned about something called COVID-19, and then just finding out about it too. That's what we all know as COVID-19, of course, but it was this year that the WHO got to find out about it. And then a few days later, China now records her first death. And then before you know, the thing's becoming serious. I'll get to coronavirus. We're coming. That will save it for last. Okay, then we had the impeachment trial for President Donald Trump, in which he was accused of, he had charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, but eventually he was actually acquitted of those charges later this year. And then we had the death. This was really sad. The death of basketball star Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi Bryant and 7 other people in a helicopter crash in California. That really hit home. A lot of people were really sad and mourning. I have a really close friend that really looked up to him, and in fact, till today, that's her profile picture on Instagram. Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi. So it was really sad. That was a really sad way. In fact, see, we started this year on really sad events were just happening. And then the UK withdrew from the European Union. WHO officially changed the name from nCoV to COVID-19. That was in March. And after that, Italy Italy was the first country to actually have a nationwide lockdown. and then after Italy had their nationwide lockdown, then then the WHO announces that this is a global pandemic. Gang. Before you know, 2020 Olympics was cancelled. It was supposed to hold in Japan, right? It was supposed to hold in Tokyo or Japan, one of the two. Then it was cancelled and postponed to 2021. Honestly, that's when I knew that something is really happening, because initially I was like, okay, you know how in Nigeria we are always like, well, it's not really here, so let's just see. At that period, and after I seen that, it's not let's just see again. No, this one is serious. And then before you know, I know sporting events were cancelled. Different kind of sports, tennis, basketball, football, and several others were cancelled. Before you know it, the whole world is on lockdown. I'd like to say there was a global wide lockdown. I don't know if that exists, but I can't tell of anyone that doesn't know that there's something called coronavirus today, or lockdown, or quarantine. And then let's even go to the rape cases, the rape issues that we experienced in Nigeria, especially, we had the one of Uwa, we had Jennifer, several others, I think Tina, and a whole lot. And that actually sparked up conversations on social media everywhere. People started talking, more rape victims started coming out, rape victims, I hope that's what I said, started coming out and speaking of, several allegations. And the people were still watching and seeing where those charges will end up, especially the ones involving celebrities, e.g. the Banj, and several others. But I just like that it brought about people's stories. A lot of people have been quiet about it, but they started talking. By the way, I did a video on rape and pedophilia and something like that. I would link it in this video, and I hope you watch it so you will understand what I mean if you don't. But that happened, and then we also had the issue of racism. I'm just tired, really. We had the issue of racism. We had George Floyd and several others that were killed, as a result of white supremacy and racism. And, several of these kind of things happened, especially in America. And it sparked up riots, of course. And these were serious riots. I think some of the riots are still ongoing right now. There were several countries, several marches, thousands of people came out. And 2020 is just stressing me out, really. Like, honestly, I saw a post the other day and someone was like, I just want to sleep and wake up in 2021 because 2020 is tiring. I don't know, it's like the decade is just trying to make everybody know that yes, I am 2020. But well, of course, the most shocking of all is the coronavirus. I already talked about it, but the fact that it really it really hits home, because everyone was affected in one way or the other. Schools were shut down. Schools haven't even resumed in a lot of countries up till now. I think just a few days ago, the government of Nigeria released a statement about when schools reopen, so we are hopeful. But then the cases are increasing, the cases are on the rise, so people are still skeptical. They don't really know for sure. And then jobs, people had to work from home or not work at all. Businesses were shut down, and so many terrible things that had to happen. So I know that this year has really been challenging to even talk about the several deaths that have happened in the last few months. Let me talk about Mrs. Ibidu Ighodalo. There was a radio presenter I love so much. I listened to him while growing up. His name is Dan Foster. That's just in Nigeria. Then several people I know have lost people that are really close to them. Several families are mourning. Several terrible things are happening, and it's really hard to encourage someone in this kind of times, because it's just one bad thing after another. But what can we do? I think we can still just be positive irrespective. It's hard and it's difficult, and it doesn't even make sense. Like, why would I say be positive when you are still having bad things happen? But truly, we have to be, because this is a new phase, this is a new half of the year, and it's what you bring into the year that you actually get. So if you bring in positivity and you choose that this is what I want to have, irrespective of what I've seen in the past, I believe that it will work out for you. Stay it into the atmosphere, and it will work out for you, because we still have 6 months left, and anything can happen within those 6 months. But I think you have the choice, you have the right to decide what you want to happen. Don't start thinking that this first half has been really terrible, maybe the second half will be worse. If you start conditioning your mind to think that the second half will be worse, actually it will be It's not like bad things are not happening or will not happen, but you just have to prepare your mind that, you know what, no matter what happens, I'll be positive, I'll maintain my joy. I did a post on happiness on my social media the other day, and truly I talked about how happiness is a choice. So I believe that if you want to be happy, you have to choose to be happy. It's a choice, it's a conscious decision, and when you make that conscious decision, you actually get results from it. So happy new month, happy new half of the year, and really I just pray that this half is 10 times better than what we experienced in the first half. It's really challenging, tiring, draining, emotionally frustrating, but I mean, even with the good things that you have, or the positive things that you have, the negative things will still come and overshadow the positive things, so it can be really depressing. But still, just hold on to that ray of hope, that little positive thing. You know, there are still good things that happened this year, but because of the many terrible things, it has overshadowed. Nobody is even talking about it. So let's pray and let's hope, and join me as we just pray for a better second half of the year, and believe that truly that's what we'll get. So come 2020 December 31st, we'll be celebrating that, you know what, there were bad things that happened here, but there are still good things that we're grateful for. Right? Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to like it, share it, comment. Yeah, tell me what your experience has been so far in 2020. I'd love to hear it. And subscribe to the channel, of course. You know, so subscribe, tell your friends about it, share the video. I'll be so excited to hear from you in the comment section, and on my social media pages is Lisa Israel on Instagram and Facebook. So until my next video, I will see you. Bye.